Okay, this is the wrong camera, but I'm not sure why it's not working. It is missing the correct always something. Just give me a moment and I'll get it fixed up. I'm just going to jump out and come back. For some reason it's not showing me my headset. Yeah, I am trying to troubleshoot. It's mic auxiliary audio cancel. Mic auxiliary. Oh, okay, here we go. Okay, hopefully this has got us back on schedule. Output might be a little bit low. Alright, how's that? I can go up a little bit more. Perfect? Alright. Yeah, the problem was I changed my whole scene setup because I had to deal with the new card, so consequently all the audio setups are wrong. Okay, you guys are right. I need USB-C. Where are you bastards? Ah. So, Miles, it's okay, I'm used to everybody leaving me. It's fine. Just gotta plug in my air blower sucker. Put that on the ground. Drape it over my legs. Yeah, there's got to be other things I'm missing here. Right. So today we've got a choice. I've got one of these paint spreaders, or I've got one of these. This is sort of similar materials, but the quality is a little bit different. This is definitely a higher quality unit. We're going to see which one does a reasonable job. I just realised I need to get my stencil. Can't do much without the stencil. Well, actually, that's not true. I could always manually put dots of paste everywhere, and we've all seen how that ends up. I still haven't adjusted this so that I can have some pedicels and pedicels. I'm too lazy. It'd be a lot easier if I just had a smaller sheet. But what I need to do, just to make it easier for the first time guidance, is this is actually stupidly harder than it should be, because I haven't done the alignment properly. Just bear with me, you'll appreciate what I'm going to do. Yep, okay. Crap. The thing I want is out of reach. Oh no, wait, I've got a spare one here. But I am going to do it one step better, but this is just a starting point. Okay. I'm going to take a couple of those. And some... I think I'll use hot glue. Hot glue should do the trick. By the way, I got my new nozzles and everything today. It's actually got the screw ones. No, we moved it. Just having two should be enough. It's not perfect, but it's close enough. Yep, we can work with that. Just practicing, see what it feels like. Oh, hello, Mr. Soren. Yes, hot glue it is. By the way, Soren, I had to change my capture card. I changed it back to the BlackMagic because my ARIA card, it puts out the camera, as you know, puts out a slightly non-standard signal, it seems, and it really upsets the ARIA card. So I just went back to the BlackMagic, and the BlackMagic accepts it no problem. That's way too much. That's okay. Phew, smells funny. Mine is 60 frames. This one here is 60 frames per second that I'm capturing. At least I'm pretty sure it is. Hey, Jason. Let's see. Yeah, I can't really tell 100%. Let me get the box for the card. Supports computer resolutions up to 60p. Simultaneously capture any combination of formats up to 4K 60. Now, 100%, 99.9% certain that does 60. Okay. Feel free to advise me if it is not 60, and then I will cry. And naturally, no matter which way you pick up these components, they will always be upside down compared to what you want them to be. And I just realized I actually need this off the silicon mat, because the silicon mat has a stronger, it tracks it stronger than what the suction can pick up if it's lying on its back. Hey, Christian. I'm doing a very bad job today. These are the nice new, well, they're not new, but the CH340N chips. So they're smaller and they don't need to have a crystal with them. I have lost my pin 1 indicator for my Tiny. It's a 50-50 chance I'm going to get it wrong. Jason, yes, that's correct. See, the microphone obviously works reasonably well. I suppose one way I can always check this is to look at an existing one. Yep, I was right. That's a terrible placement. I'm going to expect I'm going to have a few tombstones on this one. I need to get a better handle for this pick and place. It was okay just as a quick test to see if it would work, things like that, but I really need to get a better handle. I want a little bit of a longer protrusion on it. Ooh, this is definitely tricky. I'm going to use the microscope to see which way these LEDs go. Oh, thanks, Soren. Well, thank you for checking for me anyway. Yeah, you had me worried there. Thought I'd spent money on something that wasn't living up to its task. I mean, I feel bad that you've already had drama with that camera to start with the brightness. Almost forgot our I2C pull-ups. That would have been undesirable. Communications would have been severely limited. As long as the parts basically do end up in the paste, then you're pretty good. They'll usually sort themselves out. It looks kind of silly. The parts seem quite small for the pads, but they are correctly matched. Okay, some more 1 microfarads up here. And that's everything. I don't need to worry about these ones here. They're just something else that isn't actually being used. Oh, I just remembered. There's this problem here where the stencil doesn't put anything down for those two sides. That's right, and I have to manually put those ones on. I forgot about that, naturally. Yeah, and I've seen that video. Ach, niemand. Yeah, I understand now why I didn't get any paste on those. It's not a problem with the stencil, it's a problem with the stencil applicator, namely me. Okay, where the my USB-C. Oof, nearly killed myself. USB connectors. Yeah, I thought I was trying not to go too far on the stencil, but it was actually I didn't go far enough. Oh well. I can't redo it now, it's too late. So I just have to manually apply, solder those parts on. Micromage, yes, it is definitely a massive pain. It's fun for the first couple, and then it's a major pain in the backside. It's just boring. I think maybe someone mentioned earlier, if you get into the zen of it, as it were, then it's not so bad. Trying to get into that zen is difficult. Okay, so it's board 1 on the rack. We'll do board 2 as well. So the reason why I want to get a longer handle on this is because I'm getting a little bit too close to actually touching the paste, and that with my back knuckles and things like that. Which is why I'm only doing 2 at a time, because if I try to do more than 2 at a time, I'm going to inevitably run into the paste. And it seems like it doesn't matter which way I orientate it, I find I'm going to run into a similar situation. This is why having a machine do it is so much nicer. With the LED ring light, it's a lot easier. Mostly because it's only a couple of components and the bulk of it are the LEDs themselves, so you can just like go pop, 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 pop. You're not having to constantly chop and change between all the different containers I have. There are obviously much faster ways of doing this. This sort of thing's okay if you've got a lot of dead time on your schedule, like if you're just not doing any other jobs and you think, well, what am I going to do? Then you can do a bunch of these, and then when they're ready to sell, when you're put that 180 around. Come on, that's it. There's going to be about a 3 or 4 minute delay where I'm going to walk out of this room while the reflow is occurring, because I don't want to be in here while all those fumes are being generated. I will eventually get a sort of an outdoor or external exhausting system. Now the reason why I don't just have exhaust going to the outside by default, which would actually be the most efficient and effective technique, is because it's fine in winter or cooler times, but given that the majority of the weather here is hot, if I just pumped air to the outside, I'd immediately be depleting my air conditioning. This is where you try and flip them over. You just suck them up, drop them down, suck them up, drop them down. And eventually you might get lucky and it flips over the way you want. Hey Thomas, I see you bought an upgrade today. Was it an upgrade or a full license? But I did see, I'm pretty sure I saw your name on the purchase list for today. Don't you stop spinning on me. Let's see, LEDs and connectors. That's what we're going to do the LEDs under the microscope because they're too small for me to see. Hey Craig. Put it down, get the orientation right. The thing almost wants to get drawn up into the tube. It's funny, while I don't have my finger on it, no, it actually blows air out of it, which is a bit annoying. And I haven't put my VREG input caps there, that's bad of me. Hey Jeff. Oh, you're very welcome, Jeff. Thank you for saying such things. It's always nice to know that people did actually make use of what you've done. Just pay no attention to the disaster I'm creating here, though. Hey, laptop. Let's see. More of the solid, wholesome USB mini connectors. One of the best USB connectors. This is the orientation I prefer for this sort of positioning. Really, I don't know why I bother trying to get too pedantic with it. The reflow will dominate no matter what. Unfortunately, these FPC connectors do not have little keying pins, whereas the USB-C ones do, and the USB do, but the FPC does not. Alright, it's oven time. Which makes me realise I haven't got that set up properly. That's okay. Give me a minute. We'll have it set up. Yeah, maybe 2 minutes. Someone put a whole bunch of junk here. Let's hope this works. Else it's going to be a disaster if it doesn't. Let's see if we have full face. Ooh. Let's see if we can turn a little more into it. Alright, that there is the oven. Just going to put our second sheet of boards on. Cookies going into the tray. What? Where's my power? see. For safety reasons, because I don't trust my own designs. Right, someone needs to reorganize this room. Alright. Okay, so it's now turned on. Unfortunately, there's no pretty light for us to look inside. Let's pop out the chat. Catch up on things. We've got about 3 or 4 minutes before I have to take a walk. So, is Soren still here, or has he gone off and done something actually constructive with his day? I need to get the color balance right on this. This is a little bit too red. Pardon me. I've tried messing with this. Let's see if it's gonna. Here we go. Camera. So we've got white balance set to outdoor. If I said to that, that's just way too blue. Yeah, and this is sort of like. Yeah, we'll go for that. I'll forget it for the next one though. Okay, so what's happening in the oven at the moment is that it's stabilized at about 120, 130, and it's going to hold it there for a minute or two while it just lets everything get warm. Because if you don't let things heat soak enough, if you just ramp straight up to the 230, 240, then you will not get a proper reflow. You'll tend to get on ground plane legs and things like that, the paste will not reflow. You'll burn the flux off, but you won't do a reflow. It's actually overshot quite a bit. I'm going to have to change the software a little bit because it does have this tendency that because I've got all the insulation material in there, it does a much better job of retaining the heat. So the thermal, how could you say, the thermal inertia in those heat bars is more than what my software is compensating for right now. I mean, it's not the worst thing. I mean, it's got the elements off, but it just retains the heat so well that it still overshoots a bit. Okay, we've just moved into the preheat phase. And during the preheat phase, that's when it's not really correctly termed on this, it's when you slowly start creeping up to about 165. And you'll see it turns on now and then. But it's surprisingly efficient for it's I think 1100 watts, but it's only a 10-litre containment area. Plus it's got all the insulation, so it really doesn't take a lot. And I can start to smell the burn off now. Yeah, we're now at 165. Let's show off. So give it a little bit more of a kick. Come on, reflow. I wish I could put the camera on there. Alright, now it's going to go for the ramp. So I am going to... Hey Siri, set an alarm for 2 minutes. I'll be back. Ah, still stinks in here. Set that on max. Set the extractor on max. Oh, it's still reflowing. It's got to be nearly finished. Okay, now it's just told me to open the door. You got to open the door carefully. If you just like slam it down, the boards will come flying out. Alright, I'm going to take another quick walk. Give it time to vent. Camera. Oh. All right. I'm going to use my wire crimps to grab this. It's probably going to be a stupid idea. Yep. Where am I? I did have high temperature tongs. Where are they? Yeah, I had tongs that I used to move boards in and out of the reflow, not the reflow, the ultrasonic cleaner. They would do the job. I don't know where I'll put them, naturally. That's okay. We'll serve it up on a bit of board. Let's see how they went. See how many defects there are. And this is something you have to do after every reflow with every one. You got to go through, check everything actually sat down into the right place. Like for instance, you can see this 340, it kind of biased a little bit over to that side. It's not a big issue, but it's just something to note. USB mini sat down very nicely. Okay, we've got some bridging down there, that's to be expected. I think there's a little bit there too. When you get down to these sort of very small pitch parts, it sort of is inevitable that you have to clean up bridges. Likewise on the USB-C there. Again, biased in that direction. Interesting. Bridges. That one's clear. That's impressive. Okay. That one's central. No bridges. That's good. There's a little bit of discoloration on the flux, which means I'm running a little bit high on the temperature probably, though I'm not overly worried about it. I'm actually impressed there's only one of these that has bridges, considering I was putting them down without the use of the microscope. I'm quite happy with that. Plastic survived, it's fine. That's a really good criterion. Alright, so let's rework this one and get it fixed up. And of course we've got to put on the other USB-C connectors. And then we've got to flash them. Doesn't want to just grab and go. That's annoying. Normally if you just get a big tip like this and do that, it should draw off that entire bridge, but it's not. And I want to bring down the wick. Alright, let's do it this way. wicket is. The reason why I'm disinclined to use wicket times with these is it's very easy to then excessively draw the amount of solder away, and you end up with legs that aren't making contact anymore, or at least not good contact. That's good. In these sort of scenarios, it's often easier just to drag the tip along and spread out that the solder. Like if you've got an excess from a bridge. Okay, that one looks good. Civilly, we're just doing board assemblies. Time to put on those extra USB-C ports that we need. And then try and remember to not make the same mistake again. Pedro making an appearance. I just need to tack one leg down. But less terribly than that. Or we'll actually solder the anchors down later. Oof, that's terrible. That's even worse. Slightly better. Damn it. Why does solder always go to the other side of the tip? Alright, it's getting annoying. Jeez. Someone's trying to go for the world record there. Let's try something a bit different. Oh my, that's a big tip there. I'm gonna go with 10 mil. Ooh. It's a little warm. Ouch. Okay, let's try that again. I'm gonna have to get used to these new bolt-on tips. See what I like, whether I do like the 10 or whether I should go back to the 8, things like that. Perfect. What helped there a bit is because the hot air heated up the circuit board, it meant that when I did the run across with the iron, it didn't have to work as hard to get everything to reflow. I'm mostly aiming back around here because I want the circuit board to get hot more than I want the part itself to get hot. By the way, how's everyone finding the quality of the microscope at this point? In terms of brightness and clarity, things like that? Oops. If you're wondering what that is there is so that if you want to have data communications through the USB-C meter, you can just bridge those two there, and that will re-establish your D plus D minus lines. But I have left them disconnected because it seems to be that it's a not overly uncommon occurrence for some bad cables or power bricks to put 20 volts onto the data lines. So at least this way when you're testing you don't run that risk. That's annoying for you, Craig. At this point I may as well break them up. need to get our programmer. That should do it. Disconnect, reconnect. And that's on USB 2. Let's hope we don't have messed this up. Okay, we've got a green light, so that's a good start. Oh, not this crap again. What? I do not have a GCC. Development tools, AVR bin. I didn't get that. It's fine. Well, what are you complaining about? Oh, okay. Yeah, there's always something, isn't there? The reason why this isn't working directly out is because when we did the transition to the AVR Dude tool, which we got to work with this now, that was with the ring light, but this is the USB-C meter, so now we have to actually make the same change that we did for the ring light to the USB-C meter. You are not using... Yeah. It's got old comments in there. Okay. That's better. That's one. And naturally, of course, I don't use a physically keyed plug, so of course it's going to stand the risk of being put in backwards. Okay, let's hook up some displays. Some displays. Where are you, displays? 2, 4. Oh, they pack these things in tight. Let's see if we get a display. There we go. So, obviously it's going to be reading nonsensical values at this point. Alright, you're actually kind of locked. No, that's actually something slightly wrong there. Try another one. Yep, things are never quick and easy. That's why when you do these sort of things, you kind of try to do them all in one big batch. Have I ever done No, I have not actually. Maybe many years ago but not with Macs or anything like that. I know other people do it. Same values and everything there. Something's changed. I have a feeling that the compiler has done something. This is the other problem that you can run into. We're actually quite close to the upper limit of the memory storage on these chips. And what can happen is, as you approach that, it starts doing strange things like this. It clobbers data that you weren't expecting it to clobber. So we've got two doing exactly the same thing. So that tends to make me think it's a problem with the firmware, not with the build. Alrighty. Well, isn't that just fun? Okay, so you can see here we're compiling for a size optimization. So let's see if that's the same as what we're doing in the other one. And yeah, we are actually compiling for the same size optimization. Oh, come on, buddy, show me your number plate. Fuckwit. Damn it. Unfortunately, the house is at an angle where I just can't quite see the guy. I'll try an O2, see if it changes it. Otherwise we'll have to go into the... Okay. Just going to remove that stupid comment about flash a known. I could draw the flash off a known wick, but I'd rather actually get this build fixed, because otherwise it means going forward, if I've got to make any changes, it's going to cause the same issues. So it's better for me to sort this out now than it is to just draw the flash off. But at least I suppose what they would give you is confirmation that things are working. God, I hate... Yeah, okay, see, so we're right on the upper limits of the thing, so see if we can trim something out of the software. The easiest way out would be just to go along and what do you call it? Okay, this here I can get rid of. I don't need that. Still out of range. Yeah. They dip them. Like, one definitely easy way of getting around this is to just simply eliminate all this section. For testing purposes. What? What? Okay, now it's just silly. Maybe we'll have to optimize for size. Oh yeah, that makes actually a lot of sense. My bad here. When you optimize for more performance, it intrinsically makes binaries typically bigger. Because they... Okay, so we're down to 1980. Yeah. So now we can go back and... whoops. Reactivate our ever so important startup routine. That might work. Yep, there you go. 3 bytes spare. Just made it. Actually, no, it's not true. A bit more than 3 bytes. But unfortunately, we still have the same issue. Yeah, as you can see, it's still showing the wrong data. But you can see it's actually something just like the bits are wrong because it's got 2048. Yes, the that style of commenting does work in it. So yeah, I can do, you know, block commenting like that. Still got the same shitty results. Alright, now I'm genuinely curious. Git blame. Let's get one of my other builds. Yeah, alright, I'll say this one's kind of got me scratching my head a little. Yeah, good try, Defom. Shame about VReg 1 being there. I know, you were just joking. Oh, this is frustrating. And like I said, it can, when it comes to this stuff, it can often be that the compiler has changed and it's generating different code. Oh, Flash unknown working board. Yeah. I'm pretty sure the board is working fine. I mean, very surprised if it wasn't. I mean, I could be wrong, but maybe I'm missing something obvious here. Defcom is... Yeah, exactly. And it's been a few weeks since I've flashed this, and I know that the system has definitely had updates. Ow. Okay, this is new. Compiler operations, yay. Because that's the other thing, is that a lot of these things do require some level of compiler optimization. No, we want that. Yeah, that's too big. So we're stuck with using a size-based optimization. Okay, it's interesting. It's actually still coming up that star. And that'll be Y. Oh, that's disgusting code, Paul. Why would I do such a thing? I'm just going to randomly block out some sections and see if it makes the compiler all of a sudden do something. Same thing, right up, straight away. I'm missing something. Have I got completely the wrong firmware? I have. That's what it is. I've got completely the wrong firmware. I'm an idiot. This here, this 212 8x2, that is with the INA 219. This here is the firmware that I'm meant to be using. That'll explain it. And with the backlight LCD. Ah, boy. Yep. Stupid. Oh, whoops. It's going to time out. That's okay. And well, you look at that, it works. So we'll just go and do the rest of them now in one hit. Yeah, the one I was using before, the one I was trying to flash, that was for the INA 219, which we don't use anymore. Okay, now we can actually try it again, and it might work this time as anticipated. Yeah, Miles, it's in like total ignore status now. I'm comfortable with what I am. Yep, there we go. It's charging. It also explains when I flashed it, I noticed that the contrast was slightly wrong with the previous one, but I thought, oh, you know, it's just me, it's the daylight or something like that. But nope, it wasn't. It was a sign that things were wrong. Anyway, so we'll just get some tape and stick that there, and they'll be good to go. Obviously, it's not showing up at the moment on my. I should be able to though disconnect this one, and yep, it picks up the other one. I have auto renegotiation or refinding of these boards, so when I pulled out the one that I use all the time, this one here, it went looking for another one and it found this one. So it's awesome. Okay then, well, I think I am going to crash out now. I'm about to cough. Excuse me. Thanks for sitting around and watching me, very inefficiently use my time. Obviously you can do these things a little bit quicker if you just spend the whole day, do them as a big fat batch, deal with the problems once. God, I gotta get up to the hill and get a big rock to roll down on all those idiots. Alright, I'm out of here. You all take care. Thanks for watching. I'll see you all next time. Take care.